Your next time cue will be with 4 minutes until airtime. Mark, 4 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 3 minutes until airtime. Mark, 3 minutes until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue comes with 2 minutes until airtime. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime here on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Your next time cue will be with 1 minute until airtime. Mark, network stations, we are 1 minute until airtime on the Appalachian Sports Network until our Coaches Show broadcast. Studios, please start your archive recording. Stations, if you encounter any technical issues during today's broadcast, please call the Appalachian State Studio Hotline at area code 336-831-0827. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter any issues during the broadcast, please call the App State Studio Hotline at 336-831-0827. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
The The following is a Learfield presentation of the Appalachian Sports Network.
Live from the River Street Ale House, welcome to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge on the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield. Coming up, 60 minutes of Mountaineer football conversation and your chance to hear from head coach Shawn Clark. Mountaineer Talk is brought to you by the Allen Tate Companies. Hey Mountaineers, Allen Tate Realtors is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call today for all your real estate needs. Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, the official soft drink of your App State Mountaineers. And by UNC Health Blue Ridge, moving healthcare forward. Now, to get things underway, here's the voice of the Mountaineers, Adam Witten.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Mountaineer Talk, Tuesday night here at River Street Ale House. Great crowd on hand once again. We're talking App State football for the next hour as the Mountaineers are coming off a win over Georgia State by 7 points this past Saturday and returning back home this coming Saturday to face the ODU Monarchs. My name's Adam Witten. We'll be joined by head coach Shawn Clark in just a moment. His comments tonight brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Also on the show, we've got a little combination of running backs and special teams, and it's kind of the perfect time to do that because we're going to have Brian Haines on the show. He's the running backs coach, but he's also our special teams coordinator. And we're going to have Ahmani Marshall on the show. And as you'll recall from Saturday, he had a pretty big impact, not just on offense, but on special teams, blocking a punt very early in the game. As a reminder, if you want to be a part of our program tonight, you can do so in a variety of ways. You can use the hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. You can email us, mountaineertalk@gmail.com. Our text line, 828-295-2063. And if you're watching along on Facebook Live, leave your question in the comments section. We'll have questions for Coach Clark in the second segment of our show. All right, Coach, great to be here on a Tuesday night, especially when we get to talk about a win from Saturday.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Our kids played great, had a great atmosphere. Our fans were terrific. Our student section showed up. So it was good to be back in Boone after, 37 days, and had a home game since August 31st. But I thought our kids came out and we started fast, controlled the tempo. We led at halftime, which was big for us, and then won the game in the fourth quarter. So just proud of everyone involved.
All right, so let's kind of walk through how the game played out. So as you mentioned, you started well. You didn't win the toss, so you didn't have a chance to choose defer or kick. Georgia State decided to take the ball. And your defense and special teams came out and made a very early statement.
We did. We were going to put the defense out there first regardless in this game. And then, our defense started strong, went 3 and out. And then we had a backed up punt situation. And I told Coach Haines, I said, are we going for it to block it, or are we going to get a return? And he said, we're going to return it. Set up the return, and then they lined up just perfect. And we spend 25 minutes a day on special teams, and this one exact look, if they showed it to us, we were going to go after it. It was just a one-man. Ahmani went, that was his job responsible. It was a big split. He hit the hole, and it was just a momentum changer, and really got the fans involved, and that was huge for us. And then offense went down, and it was back and forth for a little bit. A lot of lead changes in that game. Mm-hmm. But again, I thought our offense played well. Our defense played really well at times. We fit the run better. Again, I thought we played with a lot more confidence, and that's what I wanted our kids to do, is play with confidence and enjoy playing football.
You ever had a score of 2-0 at the end of one quarter before?
Have not. That's little league baseball. But no, it was 2-0. But we'll take that. We were leading, so we're going to take that and run with it.
All right. How did your team then play out through the remainder of the game? As you mentioned, both teams' offenses kind of woke up in that second quarter.
Yeah, I thought our offensively, we didn't have any problems moving the football. I thought Joey made good decisions. I thought our offensive line played well this game. Gave up 0 sacks, and that's big. Again, they had some really good defensive linemen that transferred from Clemson. That he was our leading Havoc player. I think he had like 7 sacks coming into that game. I thought receivers, caught the ball and got yards after contact. Our running backs ran hard, and our defense tackled well for the most part. There were some situations we had to go tackle lower. I mean, we're trying to strip the ball first. We have to make sure we tackle him and let the guy come behind him and strip the ball instead of us trying to strip the football. So, again, we're excited to get the win. A lot to improve on. I know our players weren't happy when they came on Sunday and watched the tape because there's a lot more points left out there and a lot more opportunities for our defense to get takeaways. We have to make sure we get takeaways in this latter part of this stretch, and we can't turn the football over if we're going to win football games.
What do you think of Joey overall and his decision-making and how it improved from the game 2 weeks prior?
I thought he made good decisions. Again, the one where he did throw an interception was a PI. Mm-hmm. So that was Makai was trying to come back to the football, but I thought he got rid of the ball, got the ball out of his hands fast, made good decisions. I thought he pulled the ball when he needed to run with his feet, and we're going to count on Joey to get some yards here and there. But again, I thought he played a lot better than what he did, and he played like the old Joe we're used to.
Injuries were certainly a big factor. You guys really had to go down the depth chart. I mean, we've been doing that all year, but we saw Anderson Castle go out, Nick Taylor, DJ Burks with the targeting call, 2 tight ends get hurt in the second half of the game. I mean, it was really kind of all hands on deck.
Yeah, I told Taylor, athletic trainer, don't talk to him anymore, because every time he's out for the game, he's out. So, but again, we do have some depth in those positions, especially in our tight end room. Anytime you lose Eli Wilson, David Larkin throughout the game, and then Kane Hamlin and Max Draken, they played well. And then we have another Jared Gibble as well who'll be in there this week a little bit. And then in the secondary we have plenty of corners there. DJ Burke, that's a tough call. I mean, that's the intent of the rule is to not when you're launching, so with a targeting call. But he was going for the ball. Again, the referee made the call and they confirmed it up top. So those are those bang plays that's college football now. Again, I love the rule, but sometimes the rule goes too far.
Yeah, and kind of unfortunate for DJ because the receiver lowered his head right before he went in to make the tackle. I think we said on the broadcast, technique, form, all of that was as you instruct it, just kind of letter of the law kind of was the unfortunate result.
No, that's exactly how we teach it. We can't help it that the offensive guy ducks his head and we're coming in to knock the ball loose. So, you go back and look at it, it could go either way. Yeah. But again, his head did glaze some of the helmet, but it hit the football. That's where the football popped out.
Yeah. Special teams beyond the blocked punt, there was more impact than just that. There was Caden Robinson's punt return. I mean, even the kick coverage right before Georgia State's last possession where they had to start from the 12. Overall, this was, would you say best special teams performance of the year?
It was. And again, I mentioned we spent a lot of time on it. We take a lot of pride in our special teams unit. That's a third of the football game, offense, defense, and special teams. Caden, we were able to hold up their gunners and get a return there for a punt. It was a big punt return. In fact, Cash McVay kicked the ball, probably the best he's kicked. And he even made a tackle. And
he did.
I was afraid he was going to get a targeting call. So, but again, that was our sideline erupted. And that's fun to see. He's the last line of defense on the breakaway there they had. And he came up, and a little kid from California put his face in there and got some great tackle.
That was a phenomenal tackle, and that got the energy charged up as much as anything.
That was probably the loudest hit of the game. You could really hear that from the sidelines. So that was fun to see. The kids got a big chuckle out of that, and they've been talking about the last few days. So
I want to ask you about something defensively and a more of a balanced question in terms of a player's approach. And you had mentioned that, we missed some tackles here and there, and we've got some things to clean up. But I know that turnovers are such a big part of what you guys are trying to get defensively. How do you balance the approach of a player in terms of what you're coaching them to do, to say, okay, yes, we want to try to get the football, strip the ball, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, we also got to make sure we make the tackle.
Yeah, the most important thing is tackling the ball carrier and getting him to the ground. And again, the first guy's supposed to wrap up, and the second guy's supposed to start stripping for the football. So again, we do talk about it a bunch. We're not going to talk about it much anymore because usually talk about it so much things don't happen. So but again, we have to improve on that. That's one thing that you can see through watching the game tape. We're trying to strip the ball first. That's not what we're trying to get done. We're trying to wrap him up. The second guy strip it and get the ball out.
All right. Well, we've covered a little bit of ground from Saturday. I know we haven't touched on everything, but if there's something that we haven't touched on that you want to know about, that's what our next segment of the show is for. Get your questions in for head coach Shawn Clark. Hashtag Mountaineer Talk on Twitter. MountaineerTalk@gmail.com is the email. Text line 828-295-2063, or put them in the comments section of our Facebook live stream. We'll get to those in the second segment of our show coming up in just a moment. Hey, Mountaineers, Alan Tate is the official realtor of App State Athletics and the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas. Call Alan Tate today for all your real estate needs. More from River Street Ale House on Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
State University takes the strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
When you think of winning plays, what comes to mind? An unforgettable day in Ann Arbor, Michigan when a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be first for teaching? First, we listen. First, we engage. First, we recognize potential. You have what it takes: the drive, the smarts, and the heart to be the kind of educator who changes and inspires lives. 2 million kids are waiting for you, but first, your journey starts right here. Be first. Be an App State teacher. Learn more at firstteach.appstate.edu.
For over 60 years, Daniel Boone Inn has been serving Boone and the High Country delicious family-style meals that take you back to your grandma's table. Whether it's our family-style dinner with our signature fried chicken and country ham biscuits served with traditional Southern vegetables, or our classic Southern breakfast with such favorites as scrambled eggs, local country ham, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, and more, you're sure to feel right at home at the Daniel Boone Inn. So be sure to stop by in pregame, postgame, or let us prepare your next tailgate at the Rock.
You're tuned in to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. Now, time to hear more from head coach Shawn Clark and your host, Adam Witten.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk live on a Tuesday night here at River Street Ale House. Excited to be back, excited to be talking about an App State win from Saturday over Georgia State. And in our third segment of the program, we will preview Saturday's opponent, the ODU Monarchs. 2:30 is the kickoff on Saturday at the Rock, 2:30 for Heroes Day at Kid Brewer Stadium. We're back with head coach Shawn Clark. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. All right, time for our audience questions, and we begin on our Facebook live stream with Gina, and she says, Coach, will we be using any of the younger players the rest of the year?
If they give us the best chance to win a football game. Again, they can play 4 games now, still not use their red shirt. So, again, our number one goal is win the football game. If those guys can play and help us win, we'll do that. With the running back room right now banged up a little bit, Ahmani Alexander, he'll be on the deck. So we're going to find out. Nick Taylor has played this year. So, again, those guys are ready to play right now. So if they're ready to play to help us win, we're going to do that.
Who are some of the other guys? And I don't know if we'll see them Saturday or the remainder of the year or not, but give us a taste of some of the folks who are really impressing, whether it's scout team or otherwise in practice, some of those brand new players on the roster.
I think Kendall Farmer, he's been a true freshman nose guard from Atlanta. The list goes, there's a bunch. I don't want to leave one person out, but that's one that really stands out to me as well. So, again, we got a lot of young players, especially in the offensive line. I think they're getting better as the week goes by as well. They get a lot of extra work with Coach Cummings. So, but again, Kamani for sure, Nick, Kendall Farmer, which goes by Bucci.
Bucci Farmer.
I had to think of his real name for a second. So, but those 3 stick out. We got a really good freshman class, one I'm really excited for.
All right. Next question is from Greg. He asks if there's any update on Anderson Castle, who is one of the players that had to leave the game on Saturday.
Yeah, Anderson Castle saw our doctors Saturday evening, again on Sunday. He was out of practice today. He was non-contact today, but I think he'll be ready to go by Saturday. Anderson's a tough kid. He wants to play, and if he's breathing, he'll be trying to play. So we need Anderson. Anderson does a lot for us on special teams. He's a great running back. He's a captain. He's a great leader for our football program.
All right. Neil asks, does a hit like Cash McVay made on Saturday or Joey diving into the end zone fire the guys up, and how do they feed off of that? And, Joey on that 2-point conversion after the go-ahead touchdown really kind of sacrificed his body on that play too.
He did. We don't want our quarterbacks to slide. Again, 1 yard is 1 yard. Again, we want to make sure we get that yard for our football football team. The Cash McVay play, that was fantastic. Again, he was the last line of defense, and there was a breakaway play back to the field, and he went and threw his body. He was a sacrificial lamb for his football team. So, but he got up and he was flexing. That was fun to see. Our sidelines went crazy, and on Sunday in a special teams meeting, they were talking about it and laughing about it. So I'm just happy for that kid. How
did the team celebrate Kanan Hamlet's touchdown? Not just because it was the game-winning touchdown, but that's a pretty good time to have your first career touchdown too.
Yeah, his teammates were excited for him. Kanan's done a great job of preparing to play. He's played behind two really good tight ends, and it's his time. Like I tell kids all the time, you have to prepare like you're a starter always, and he's done that. So he'll get more involved in our offense as the season goes on. So just happy for him and this seeing all of his hard work pay off.
Next question is, what makes Thomas Davis, who plays that outside linebacker dog position, what makes Thomas Davis a leader on the team?
He has a great motor. He practices very well. He probably leads by example more than what he talks. But again, he's been a great player for us the last 2 years. He's really grown to his own right now. He's gotten stronger, and again, he gets that pass rush off the edge. Sometimes a mismatch, kind of a hybrid position. He's not really a defensive end. Linebackers in between, and he can drop into coverage. He can rush the quarterback and really cause havoc for the opposing teams.
Question from Tony. He asked, and this kind of tees up our next segment, which is, what makes Old Dominion dangerous on both sides of the ball?
Everything. They have a good football program. You look at their schedule. They played Virginia Tech, and who was the other Power 5? South Carolina.
Yep. And
then took East Carolina down to the very last series. But again, they switched quarterbacks. Again, he's played 5 games. I think he has 14 total touchdowns. He started 5 games. He got 14 touchdowns, and it all starts with him. They got a really good, big offensive line. Good receiver, a really good tight end as well, who's one of their go-to guys. On defense, they run a unique defense, and we'll get more involved in that later on. But I mean, they're really downhill, and they're a physical football team. They tackle well, and they all run the ball.
Seems like every week we're playing a team that has a dynamic tight end.
Yeah. This is a tough conference.
Yeah,
they've got great players in this league, and again, this tight end they have at Old Dominion is no different. I mean, he can really stretch the field for you. He's a great inline blocker. He catches the ball across the middle. So again, you can't. And they have more than just one. I mean, they have 2 really good receivers. They're a great running back, and their quarterback runs as well. So we have to make sure we're all in our gaps, have clean eyes, and really running the football this week.
All right, so we're going to talk Old Dominion in our next segment. That's a little bit of an appetizer on what we will discuss with ODU, which is 4-4, but they're 4-4 after starting the season 0-3. So they're definitely playing good football right now. They've won 3 straight coming in to play this Saturday. First, I want to tell you about Mountaineer Mania over there on King Street. They're alumni owned and operated from App State football. Preston Powell, he's class of 2001. Mountaineer Mania is Boone's longest running team store, 43 years. And anybody I've talked to, we were just talking about this on Saturday, actually, when I was having dinner with my family downtown. They said, man, people keep telling us to go and check out what Mountaineer Mania looks like inside. So they're doing a great job over there, and it really seems to be standing out when you first walk in the door. They've got a hat bar with the largest selection of App State headwear under one roof and the largest selection of App State Nike products in town. All right, we're just getting rolling here from River Street Ale House. Come on back for more Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
It's Appalachian State football season when I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when The Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
On game day, there's nothing like tailgating, touchdowns, and Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Twisted Tea goes down smooth and tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea. Cool, refreshing, and a 5% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea hard iced tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer. Keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Mountaineer football is back, which means it's time to fire up those grills and tailgate. The grilling experts at Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy would like to remind you of a few helpful tips when heading out to your cookout this season. Remember that it's okay to bring your own sauces. Always expect the grill master to provide meat, but bring your own sides and beverages. And last but not least, do not touch the grill. For more grilling tips and to learn more about Appalachian Energy and G&B Energy Tailgater of the Year contest, visit us at gbenergy.com.
Hey fans, this is Wayne Cook, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way to the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you'd love to get your podcasts. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Welcome back to Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We want to hear from you as well. Tweet us using the hashtag Mountaineer Talk. Now let's head back to your host, Adam Witten.
All right, welcome back to the show. Glad to have everybody here tonight at River Street Ale House. So appreciate everyone that comes here week in and week out as we talk App State football here from River Street Ale House, and our show presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We're visiting with head coach Shawn Clark for one more segment. His comments brought to you by Blue Ridge Energy, powering a brighter future. Before we talk about the Monarchs, we of course want to remind you about the official beef of App State football. That is Goddard Family Farms beef, featuring a premium farm-to-table product sustainably grown in the heart of the mountains, shipped directly to your door. You and your tailgate can now have the beef that fuels the black and gold on game day. Visit GoddardFamilyFarms.com for all the details on how to hashtag eat like a Mountaineer. You know, we spend a lot of time talking about steaks and different cuts of meat that Goddard Family Farms can help supply people with, but we haven't really talked much recently just about the way that they support the team, and specifically the offensive linemen on the team, the Bulls.
Yeah, just want to make sure we thank Derek and Goddard Family Farms for all they do for our program. Just not football, but for all of App State athletics. And again, we have a great deal with our offensive line, and they got deals worked out where they can supply meat to our lines. It really helps them stronger, faster for the rest of the season. But I will say I had my last filet from Goddard Family Farms Saturday after the game. So, Derek, we need some more steaks in the Clark household.
I'll
send you the address, and you get them up to us if you don't mind.
You fired them up during your celebration on Saturday after the game.
That's right.
You?
We had to.
All right, let's talk ODU. As I mentioned before the break, this team is 4-4, but they're 4-4 coming off an 0-3 start, which included games at South Carolina and against Virginia Tech. Those were two of their first three losses. They are coming off quite a dominant performance against Georgia Southern last Thursday night, 47-19. Let's start there, Coach. How did they make it look so easy against Georgia Southern at times?
Well, I think they figured it out. They had a tough schedule early with Virginia Tech and South Carolina, East Carolina. Then they finally settled in who their quarterback was going to be, and he's a redshirt freshman from out of California. He really came in and he's a difference maker. I mean, he gets ball. He makes great decisions, get rid of the ball fast. He can beat you with his feet. So and they're playing better on defense. And this is Ricky's fifth year. They didn't play during the COVID year. They didn't play. So it's fourth year together. They have not lost to many coaches. So they're very excited what they do. They know exactly what they want done, and they're playing fast, they're playing confident. So, again, we look forward to getting here this Saturday. It's going to be a great challenge for us.
So let me ask you about their quarterback. Colton Joseph is his name. He's a redshirt freshman, as you mentioned, from California. I don't know if it's because he wears the same number or his style of play, or even when he's doing the money hands after he makes a big play, but does he remind you of the way Johnny Manziel plays?
No, I didn't even think about that. Again, he's just a great athlete. I don't want to compare him to anybody because he's really good. So,
yeah.
But he's just playing confidence. I mean, and and the way he runs the offense, and they have a lot of confidence in him. I mean, again, he's getting the ball to his playmakers, and when you try to load the box, stop the run from them run the football, he pulls it down and makes a play. I mean, that was a pretty dominating performance against Georgia Southern there last Thursday, and we haven't seen that on tape up to this point. So again, they keep getting better week by week.
I remember when we were looking at Old Dominion last year and we played them in Norfolk, they had a very unique thing about the way they did their offense. They would stack receivers way out beyond the numbers and really spread teams out, and then be able to run into what could have been a light box, or just throw the ball downfield a lot and let your guys go make plays, or maybe you get a PI. Similar style offense, or is it a lot different
Very
this year?
similar this year. They take the receivers about 3 yards from the sideline.
Yeah.
And so you have to walk guys out there and cover them, and then when you do that, you're, like you say, you're susceptible to the run. Yeah. So you have to make sure you play in spacing, get hands on the receivers early, because that's a lot of their points are throwing shots down the field, because you really have no choice. Because you put one receiver in the middle, one defender in the middle of the field, it's still, to him to get all the way to the sideline is hard to do. So if you try to cheat it one way, they go the opposite way. So again, it's a unique offense, and they run it very well. They're very efficient with it, and we have to have a great game plan as we go into the Saturday.
You look at their receivers, Isaiah Page, big player for them, Demarion Houston, who caught 2 touchdown passes against Georgia Southern. You know, their height doesn't necessarily stand out as much. Both of those guys are under 6 feet tall, but how do they utilize them if they're out so far on the sideline? How do they utilize those guys to where they can be most effective?
No, they have a lot of speed out there. They might not be that tall, but they're fast. Okay. And, you watched Georgia Southern this past week. They kept taking the middle of safety and putting him out there and trying to cover the receivers. Well, left the middle of the field open, so they ran
there goes the tight end.
Tight end up the middle, the running back up the middle. So they scored 2 touchdowns off that. One of the tight end, one of the running back. They ran a fake draw. The running backs went a block and stuck through the linebackers, and it's a touchdown in the red zone. So you have to be very picky of what you do things in different field zones, and you have to try to change up as much as you can for their offensive coordinator.
All right, what are we looking at scheme-wise defensively?
Again, there are multiple, but most have a 3-4 front. And again, they have great linebackers. Their defensive line are really big, and they're really strong. They give you some issues to run the football. Again, you look at their DBs, I think they have, 8 or 9 picks on the season, if I'm not mistaken.
10.
So they have 10 picks in the season. So, and they can, with the different scheme they have, the safeties, how they roll things around, it can be confusing for a quarterback. But we have to just take what they give us, and don't try to force balls in traffic. And then you have to walk the ball down the field. You can't be in a hurry, because they're not going to give you the big plays early. You have to make sure you throw the ball underneath and check downs and first downs and move the chains. So
they're putting not just 2 safeties back there. Sometimes it's 3 across, and you're really having to be patient what you do.
Because the run game looks really good, and then all of a sudden comes a safety screaming down there. You can't account for him. So again, it's unique how they do it, but they're very sound at it, and everyone they played has had trouble running the ball against them. Even look for Virginia Tech and South Carolina, they stopped the run versus South Carolina. And so again, we have a great game plan. Again, it's only Tuesday. We have a few more days to get it squared away, but we'll be ready for them on Saturday.
All right, let me ask you about their red zone play, because that's a statistic where they stand out on both sides of the ball. They're one of the best, not just in the Sun Belt, but nationally in red zone offense and red zone defense. What is it about the way they play inside the 20s?
They play aggressive. I mean, they're not trying to. They're going to spread you out and make you cover every position and try to find the mismatch, or where the weak spot is in the defense. And like you saw this past weekend, Georgia Southern took their safeties out of the middle of the field, and they run the running back up to shoot and the tight end up to shoot. So I mean, it's one of those deals that you have to be able to mix it up. You can't stay stagnant in your front. You have to make sure you're moving the defensive line. Showing a 2 safety look, roll into a closed field safety, and then vice versa. Show 1 high and then 2 high. So and then on offense, man, the quarterback makes it go. I mean, you have to make sure you know where he is at all time. You have to keep him in the pocket when he scrambles. He can beat you with his feet, and then in the zone read schemes, you have to make sure that he hands the ball off. There's one play Saturday, he should have had the ball off and pulls it and goes 40 yards for a touchdown. So it's going to be a great challenge, but it's what we're looking forward to. Again, get the chance to play back at the Rock here Saturday at 2:30 in front of our fans. And again, there's no better place in college football than here at the Rock.
It's Heroes Day on Saturday. I know that's a special day for you.
It is. I just want to make sure we honor all the heroes, from military to first responders. And what's happened here in Boone over the last month is even more important. So again, come out, be early, be loud, and make sure we give these heroes a great welcome here at the Rock on Saturday.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Go get them.
Thank you, bud.
That's head coach Shawn Clark joining us on the program. Stay tuned. When we come back, Brian Haines will be our guest, and later, running back Ahmani Marshall. We'll return to River Street Ale House with more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this.
When you think of winning plays, what comes to mind? An unforgettable day in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when a blocked kick made 107,000 fall silent, or a tipped Hail Mary turned into a touchdown. These moments are woven into the storied history of App State football. And just like those plays, Blue Ridge Energy knows a thing or two about making winning moves. We're here to power your life with the resources your family needs, offering savings, quick response times, and a reliability rating of over 99%. At Blue Ridge Energy, we've got the game plan to keep you and your loved ones energized.
James River Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer dedicated to a full line of residential, commercial, agriculture, construction, and forestry products in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. With local locations in Wilkesboro, Newton, Statesville, and throughout the Carolinas and Virginia, James River Equipment is right around the corner and there for you. For more information, visit jamesriverequipment.com today.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
You, nature lover. Ever heard of us? We're Boone, North Carolina. High up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, with vistas that go on forever. Adventure that never stops, and challenges you've yet to try. We've got every outdoor pursuit you can imagine, and cozy lodging. Explore Boone.
Hey Mountaineer fans, did you know UNC Health Caldwell proudly serves the high country by providing services like women's health, primary and urgent care, cancer care, spine care, urology, and more? When you or a loved one receives care at UNC Health Caldwell, count on compassionate patient-centered care from a skilled team of healthcare providers. For more information on healthcare services from Blowing Rock to Hickory, visit www.caldwellmemorial.org.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk, live from River Street Ale House, our show presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. And we appreciate everyone being here at Ale House again on a Tuesday night. We know everyone's having a great time, but make sure you also check out Town Tavern Blowing Rock for a great dining experience. They're open for lunch, dinner, and later have 19 flat-screen TVs to catch the games. They also boast the largest outdoor dining area in the high country, so make sure you stop by Town Tavern Blowing Rock on your next trip to the high country. All right, everybody, let's welcome our guest, our special teams coordinator and running backs coach, Brian Haines, joining us. Let's say hello. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. How are you? Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. Okay, so I got to start with the punt block, because I want to know from your perspective. I want to hear your side of the story based on after what Coach Clark told us in terms of how it played out from what you saw on the field to when you guys decided that, all right, we've got a chance to get this one, and ended up getting it.
I just got here. What Coach Clark said?
Well, he said that maybe the look changed in between when they first came out there and then how things looked right before the snap. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good. And you have a plan going into it. You watch a lot of film.
Yeah.
And sometimes things work out the way you think it's going to, sometimes not. And I'll tell you, Ahmani did a great job.
Yeah, he did. So tell us about how you felt about special teams overall. And say we spent a lot of time talking with Coach Clark about the special teams performance, but it wasn't just the punt block. It was kick coverage. It was Caden's punt return. Cash McVay's hit on kickoff. What were your thoughts on the way special teams performed on Saturday?
I'd like to see the kicker not have to make tackles on our coverage units, but Cash, man, he stuck it up. He stuck his face in there, and he did a really good job. And that was one unit I thought that really stepped up. I thought that returner was good, and it's unfortunate with what happened with Michael, and Cash has done a phenomenal job, next man up, and he's getting really good hang time for us and giving our coverage a chance to get down the field.
Yeah, it's so unusual that a place kicker gets hurt. That's just not an injury you see that often in football. Have you ever been in a situation where your starting kicker gets hurt and you've had to go next man up at that position?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there were some years here where Chandler Staten battled through some things, but thankfully we had Michael. And, thankfully right now we have Jackson Moore and Cash McVeigh to step in.
So we talked about Cash on the kickoffs and the way he can cover kicks as well, but what's your assessment of the way Jackson Moore has stepped up in that role?
I think he's done a really good job coming into that role, and it's not hard to replace an All-American. That was 5 for 5.
Yeah.
But he steps in there. He's confident and kicking the ball well.
Not seeing any nerves or anything.
No.
He's super confident going out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he stepped into that very first kick against Marshall and drilled it like it was nothing.
Yeah, and everybody's sitting there kind of waiting, okay, well, how's this going to be? And then he did. And you're like, all right.
Yeah. How did he react to, how did he react to the miss early in the game? I mean, kickers got to have short memories like a lot of positions.
You got to move on. Yeah, you got to move on.
He didn't dwell on it or anything like that?
Not one bit. And we're telling him that. Coach Clarkson on that. I'm telling him that as soon as he's walking off the field, you got to move on, and there's going to be another kick for you.
Yeah. So as it relates to running backs, I mean, it's just a position that you see injuries a lot more in college football is at running back. But how did you manage the workload for guys knowing that, okay, didn't have Mikael Haywood, Anderson Castle comes out with an injury, Jalen Calhoun's not available because of injury. So, you're really having to mix and match different guys. How are you working through that?
Well, we've said since day one of camp that going into camp, we felt like we had 4 starters in that room. And in that room, there's going to be some good days and bad days, and guys are going to get hurt. So it is next man up mentality, and I thought they did a good job. They were tired after the game.
Yeah.
But they did good.
Yeah. How'd you feel about the way Ahmani ran the ball?
He ran hard. He ran with a purpose, and my challenge to him all week was run with some violence, and you saw that.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't dancing around.
Yeah. Able to shake off the, you hate that a fumble can cloud the way a guy performs. Thankfully, you still get the win after all of it's said and done. But how do they do, and specifically him, when you have a situation like that, you got to shake that off quickly?
Well, that's never an easy situation to deal with. But the same thing with the kicker. You do have to move on. You can't dwell on it. And if you do, it's going to come back and get you again. So he's got to be confident. You got to pump confidence into him, and put him back out there to win the game for you.
Coach Clark mentioned the name Kamani Alexander, who's a young freshman running back, but I know very, very talented. And, as he continues to potentially move up the depth chart because of that next man up mentality, just give us a little bit of a sense of what kind of player he is, what kind of person he is in the event that we do end up seeing him on the field at some point.
He has the best smile in Boone. I'll start with that.
Okay.
He's got $1 million smile. He's a great kid. He's eager. He wants to learn. He's always taking notes, but on the field, he's going to be 210, 215 pounds. He's got a frame to hold probably 10 more. And he gets his foot in the ground, and he's got a really good burst.
Yeah, well.
And he's one of those kids that as he's making a cut, he can continue to gain ground. He doesn't have to stop and cut, so he's got some wiggle to him too.
So fair to say he's maybe more skilled than your average freshman.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad we have him.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have him. I'm glad we're not playing against him.
That's good to hear. All right, we're just getting started with Coach Brian Haines. If you have questions for Coach, you can fire away on Twitter, email, text, or our Facebook live stream. We will continue with more with him and Ahmani Marshall coming up later in the show. We're live at River Street Ale House. Come on back for more Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this.
Covering App State University takes the strongest wireless service in the area. With Carolina West Wireless, Mountaineers get the most reliable coverage on campus and across the country with our award-winning high-speed nationwide network. We offer the latest devices and technology at a great value with an exceptional local customer service experience that you deserve. Try us risk-free for 30 days. Carolina West Wireless is proud to be the official wireless provider of the Mountaineers.
It's Appalachian State football season when I becomes we, and we live every day for Saturdays. Well, and a couple of Thursdays. It's when the Rock is the loudest place on planet Earth, and every fan in the high country reaches for delicious Pepsi all season long. Pepsi picks us up so we can tailgate longer and cheer louder. It refreshes so we can always be a winning, a grinning, and a feeling fine. So grab a Pepsi and roll Nears, proud sponsor of App State football.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
We were heartbroken by the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, but now our hearts are filled with hope by scenes of strangers helping strangers. The Mass General Store is okay, and we will be okay, but our community needs your help today, tomorrow, and for months to come. If you are able, join the Mass Store and donate to the Hunger and Health Coalition to help feed our high country neighbors. Together, we are Mountaineer strong.
Window World, America's largest exterior remodeler and the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics, provides exceptional quality windows, siding, doors, and more. They are headquartered right here in North Carolina and have enhanced over 100,000 homes across over 30 counties for over 25 years. Improving your largest investment with energy-efficient products and creating amazing curb appeal is what they do best. From the high country to the Triad and the Catawba Valley to Asheville and beyond. Call, click, or visit Window World, the official exterior remodeler of App State Athletics today.
The show. It is Mountaineer Talk right here on the Appalachian Sports Network. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here at River Street Ale House. I'm Adam Witten, and we're joined by running backs coach and special teams coordinator Brian Haines. Hey, future Mountaineers, if you're enrolled at one of App State's 9 partner community colleges, you can seamlessly transition to App State after you complete your associate's degree. This program includes guaranteed admission, dedicated advising, and coordinated financial aid programs. Check it out at aspire.appstate.edu. All right, Coach, we got a few questions here from the audience. Tony wants to know, who's your favorite NFL team and why?
My favorite NFL team, I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And
so you had a good night last night then?
Yeah. And it's in the house. It's my wife's favorite team. So I grew up really not having an NFL team, but her grandfather was from Pittsburgh, and she's a big Pirates fan and Steelers fan.
I know that you can't completely check out of football on Sunday because you guys have film study and you actually practice on Sunday, but it's hard to follow the NFL when you're a college coach, right?
Almost impossible.
Yeah. Unless you got a player out there that you want to make sure that you watch or something like that. So, okay. Let's see. Lee asks, how has Michael Hughes stepped up to help Cash and Jackson?
Michael's awesome. He's even when he was on the scooter and had the cast on there, he's out there with a stopwatch. He's helping them get lined up, and I think more importantly, after the kicks, he's able to help them through practice with things that he and I see, and work with them on the side, work with them in the indoor, and tremendous leader.
Yeah. Neil asks if you feel like someone in the group is about to have a breakout game. I mean, Kanye had a good game against Louisiana. Ahmani had a good game against Georgia State. But I guess I'll ask the question maybe a different way. How much higher is the ceiling for those guys in terms of game performance?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we're going to see from Kanye. I fully believe it are some explosive long runs, breaking the tackles. That's what we need from him. That's what he's going to get done, and Ahmani has the same ability to do that as well.
Okay. I want to ask you about the key to running against this ODU defense, because Coach Clark mentioned the unique style they play where they almost have 3 safeties out there, and maybe 1 or even more of those guys are kind of shooting in there and really trying to disrupt the running game. What kind of challenge does that present for someone who's so involved in the running game like yourself?
Yeah, it does. It presents a challenge for sure. We're going to have to be on our game and make some people miss in the open field, which is fine. We're going to rely heavily on our receivers to do their job in blocking as well and step up, and you know how that goes. And then you hope that they step up in the passing game. Keeps them back a little bit as well.
I haven't really asked you this before, I don't think, but can you tell us about what it's like trying to juggle the responsibilities that you have on the team? I mean, you're a position group coach, but then special teams coordinators, which means, there's so many different aspects to it. Kick coverage, there's kick return, punt coverage, punt return, field goal, punting. How do you keep up with all of it?
It's challenging at times, to say the least. Typically when a series is going on, defense is out there in between. I'll have time to go over, look at the iPad, talk to the kids on the bench for a few minutes. And then second down, I've got to start making my way back there in case punt return has got to go back out. Mm-hmm. But, that's something that we invest a lot of time in, and our players do a great job of knowing. We're not yelling for guys to get out there. They know if the punt return team's going out there, they're going. We're not grabbing guys. All we got to do is just tell them the call.
Yeah, if you're yelling kickoff or you're yelling hands team or anything like that, like everyone knows how to go out. So that's good. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. That's Brian Haines, everybody, joining us on the show. When we come back, we'll visit with our player guest, Ahmani Marshall. That's when we return to River Street Ale House for more Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after this.
More and more Mountaineer fans are choosing to go modern at Modern Ford of Boone. When you buy with Go Modern, you can choose your vehicle, value your trade, pick your payments, apply for credit, even complete your entire purchase online, or just do the parts you want and pick up where you left off at the dealership. Go Modern puts you in control so you can buy where you want, when you want, and how you want. For your next vehicle, go modern. Get started at modernfordofboone.com. Proud supporter of App State Athletics.
Tired of sitting on the sidelines because of nagging shoulder, hip, knee, or back pain? Let App Ortho get you back in the game. Offering advanced treatments for shoulder, hip, knee, and back pain, App Ortho offers same-day appointments and telehealth visits. App Ortho is also the official sports medicine and orthopedic provider for App State Athletics. Stop sitting on the sidelines and call App Ortho today. 828-386-2663 or visit apprhs.org.
Reaches the ball out, and he's in!
More coverage of Mountaineer football after these local messages. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
App State's top-ranked online MBA is designed for you. It's a flexible, accredited, part-time program that works with your busy schedule and allows you to earn your MBA in 2 years. Learn online from the same faculty who teach on campus with the unmatched personalized interaction and support we're known for at Appalachian. Your App State MBA is within reach, wherever you are in life. Take the next step. Apply today for spring, summer, or fall admission at appstate.edu.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Welcome back to the show. We are live at River Street Ale House here in Boone for Mountaineer Talk. It's presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We're going to have our player guest segment here in just a moment as App State gets set to face Old Dominion on Saturday at 3:30. Our show brought to you by Alumni Hall, the official online store of App State Athletics. Shop the latest and largest selection of App State apparel, hats, Yeti, and all your tailgating gear by visiting Alumni Hall on King Street, or shop anytime at appstatesports.com or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate Mountaineer shopping destination. All right, our guest now had 115 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and he blocked a punt on Saturday. Let's give it up for Ahmani Marshall. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Is
that the best college game that you've had to this point?
All right, correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, well, let's start with the special teams. Is that the first blocked punt you've ever had?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of a surreal moment. You know, I just got through untouched, and then I just, blocked it kind of. So, yeah, it was kind of crazy. When
right before the ball was snapped, did you feel like you would have a chance to block that one when you saw what was happening with the way they were lining up?
Yeah, Coach Haines, he kind of drew that up all week when we were practicing it. I knew kind of like the look I had, the gap was wide open. I kind of shed the first block and I got through, so yeah.
Did you have I'm trying to remember what happened when you blocked it, but did you have a chance to grab it, or did it immediately go out of the back of the end zone?
Yeah, it went straight out the end zone. It went straight out the back of the end zone.
Okay, so you were telling me a little bit during the break. Have you ever played on special teams before like that, whether it's punt return or being involved in a play like that, or were you mostly offense, defense in high school?
High school, yeah, I just played straight offense. When I got to college, as a young guy, you got to, work your way up through the special teams role, and I kind of just, loved, playing on those units.
Yeah.
Sure.
How many different special teams units are you on right now?
I'm on 3, kickoff, punt return, and punt.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you get a good view of Cash McVay's tackle on kickoff?
I was getting double teamed when that happened, but I saw it on film, so yeah, it was a good hit though.
Yeah.
He stepped up. Okay,
so was the punt block a better feeling than any offensive play that you've had so far?
It was very close, yeah. I felt the same, energy as, scoring a touchdown. So yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. What was it like for you in the way that you ran the ball? Coach Haines mentioned that he told you have to be a violent runner on Saturday. What was can you tell us in your own words your approach to the game on Saturday and how you tried to run the ball?
I mean, yeah, I just, ran the ball hard. He emphasized that all week, all year really, just to be, violent runners. And, we hear from Coach Ponce and from Coach Clark all the time. And, yeah, we just go out there and try to do that every Saturday.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were getting into a groove? I mean, we talked you guys have so many talented running backs, and you guys rotate so much. But you seemed to get into a pretty good groove there once the second quarter got underway.
Yeah, I kind of got into my little groove, you could say. Yeah. I mean, I was out there feeling myself. I'm not going to lie. It was just out there having fun playing ball.
You get down to the goal line on that first touchdown drive in the second quarter. We're on the 1-yard line. You had pretty much been responsible for all the yardage to get us down to that point. Did you have to make sure that you were going to get the ball in that situation to finish the job?
Oh, no. Whatever coach called.
Oh, come on now.
Whatever coach called what it was going to be. But, yeah, I mean, it felt good getting in that box after, that long drive.
So if for some reason Joey would have just play fake to you and ran a naked bootleg and scored on his own, you wouldn't have been upset by that?
Nah, that would have been Joey's touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. I know it got flagged, but you guys got to go over and celebrate with the students on Miller Hill after that first touchdown.
Yeah. Stuff like that is fun and whatnot, but we can't have those penalties.
Okay. All right.
Setting us back.
That's a good answer. All right. So tell us about your before App State. So you play at East Forsyth High School, which having a good year this year. I mean, they're always a good program.
Yeah, they're doing great right now. Actually, they're doing really good. I talk to my old head coach, Coach Willard, all the time, and he just keeps me updated, keeps me in the loop. So yeah, they're doing real good.
Okay, so you start your career at Wake. What can you tell us about the transition from Wake to being at App State?
I went to Wake Forest, decided, I wanted to kind of stay home, but then, it just wasn't the best situation for me playing-wise, and, I took that chance on myself to enter the portal. Coach Clark gave me the opportunity to come here, and, I've been loving it ever since.
What have you noticed and really appreciated about, I mean, I'm not trying to ask you to compare one versus the other, but I want to just know, you come to App State, and we always say, it's different on the mountain. Right. How do you describe what App State football culture is once you got here?
I mean, just to, make a long story, it's just the brotherhood, really. As soon as the day I came on campus, everybody just welcomed me with open arms. And I really have some, met my lifelong friends here.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love Boone. I love the mountain. I could really call this place home now.
Well, we're glad that you're here, man.
Sir.
It was awesome to watch you play on Saturday.
Sir.
All right, we're going to take a break. We've got one more segment with Ahmani Marshall. If you've got questions for him, go ahead and fire away. We'll try to get to a couple of those in our next segment. We'll return to River Street Ale House for more of Mountaineer Talk, presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge, right after these messages.
Mountaineer Talk postgame is presented by Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, your high country football headquarters. Our great food and drink specials are available throughout the week. Visit us every Thursday for our famous wing night, Mondays for taco night, and Tuesdays for half-price pizzas. Then, as always, we will have all the games on our high-def TVs for a weekend full of football. Come see us at Town Tavern Blowing Rock and River Street Ale House, or visit our newest location, Town Tavern of Banner Elk.
For over 54 years, Greystone Eye's mission has been to preserve the gift of sight and improve lives one patient at a time. Their highly trained team of 15 board-certified ophthalmologists and optometrists includes 8 fellowship-trained subspecialists. They provide the Lincolnton, Hickory, Lenore, and Boone communities with the highest quality eye care possible. So no matter where or how you're viewing the game, Greystone Eye has you covered. Schedule your visit at 828-322-2050 or at greystoneeye.com.
It is great to be a Mountaineer.
The home of the Mountaineers. This is the Appalachian Sports Network from Learfield.
Vesco Toyota Lift, family owned and operated, has been the exclusive Toyota forklift distributor serving Western North Carolina for over 40 years. Vesco's service department has the experience to keep your equipment running safely and efficiently. Let Vesco's team of local and resident technicians go to work for your business. We open at 6 a.m. and offer 24/7 emergency service. Vesco rents forklifts, scissor lifts, boom lifts, scrubbers, trailer spotter, burden carrier, and 4-directional combi lifts. Vesco has you covered. Call us today at 1-800-951-3131 or visit us online at vescoforklifts.com. Give your business a big lift today.
Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is an App State alumni-owned full-service geotechnical engineering, environmental, construction materials testing, and special inspections consulting firm based in Hickory. Maintaining pace with the latest technology and developments allows us to provide cost-effective services. The high number of returning clients reflect their confidence in our staff and our ability to provide quality results. Visit us at cvet.net to learn more. Catawba Valley Engineering and Testing is a proud partner of App State Athletics.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is Mountaineer Talk presented by UNC Health Blue Ridge. We're live at River Street Ale House tonight. App State and ODU coming up on Saturday. 2:30 is the kickoff. I think I said 3:30 earlier. Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that. 2:30 is the kickoff on Saturday. App State and ODU back at home at the Rock for this Saturday's game. All right, we're visiting with our player guest, Ahmani Marshall, and I want to ask you about something you mentioned right before the break. You said, it's a brotherhood. You've got some guys that probably going to be friends for life that you play with now. Tell me about how would you describe the relationship just amongst the running backs? Like, what is it like in those meeting rooms with those guys? You smile when I ask you that, so it's got to be fun.
It's hilarious, man. Just being around those guys, every day, literally. We really got the chance to really get close to each other, and we want to see each other win. And it's just a great feeling having a group of guys like that around you.
So Coach Haines wanted me to make sure that I asked you who you sit next to in the meeting rooms.
Yeah, it's been that way for
Castle?
All my time. Yeah, Anderson Castle. Yeah.
Why is that? You guys,
I mean, honestly, that was the only seat open when I first got here. But me and Castle, we've grown a lot together, and that's a brother that I always have.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you seem to have a good attitude, because when I asked you about, look, if you get down to the 1-yard line and you don't get the ball, it doesn't matter to you as long as the team scores.
Sure.
So that's the kind of approach you guys all got to have. I mean, you guys are probably your biggest fans when someone else
Correct.
is out there on
Yes,
the field.
Sir. Yes, sir.
How do you manage the balance of, I want to be in there, I want to help the team, I want to carry the ball, I want the ball in my hands, but also knowing that, hey, I'm gonna be there for my teammates as well.
I mean, that's just how the game is. We all want to succeed ourselves. We all have our own personal goals, but at the end of the day, we see how hard we all working, and I can't be mad if somebody's balling and I'm not. I gotta go cheer for my brother and go lift him up when he's down as well.
Text message into our text line at 828-295-2063. What are you planning to do for your career?
I'm mainly focused on just helping my team win more games. That's just the main focus now. Help my team win.
Okay. Facebook question: what do you tell a young recruit thinking about coming to App?
I'll tell a young recruit, this is a place to be if you want to be somewhere where you're loved. You're playing for a championship coach. You're playing for great fans. A great location, Boone and in the mountains. This is a place for you.
And we'll let Lee get the final question on this one. What's your favorite thing to do besides playing football at App?
Honestly, if we're not practicing, with the guys, we're doing something else. So, just hanging out with my boys and, whether that's video games or if we're all just, just hanging out, just having a good time by a fire or something, it's pretty fun.
Movies, anything like that? Or
I'm a big movies guy, kind of.
Best football movie, what is it?
Football movie, Longest Yard, I'd say.
I'm assuming not the original, right?
No.
Okay. All right, the Adam Sandler version.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, man. Well, it was so much fun to watch you on Saturday. We're so glad that you're here and a part of this program, and can't wait to see you ball out again on Saturday.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Ahmani Marshall joining us tonight. Give it up for him.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's going to do it for our show. Again, App State and ODU on Saturday. We want to extend a special thank you to our game sponsors, North Carolina Electric Cooperatives, Blue Ridge Energy, and First Horizon Bank. We appreciate their sponsorship of Saturday's game against ODU and their continued support of App State Athletics. 2:30 kickoff at The Rock. Our coverage on the Appalachian Sports Network will begin at 12:30. Thanks to Shawn Clark, thanks to Brian Haines, and thanks to our player guest, Ahmani Marshall, and of course, thanks to you for being here. No show next Tuesday because of election night and the short week with the Coastal game. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks for Mountaineer Talk. Have a great night.